Hello everyone, I'm RecV5,
And I'm Sandman99.
and we're back with Madden NFL 2005. But before we start again with the Crusaders franchise, we just wanted to show you another funny replay that happened.
Yeah. And this one is with a team that I've started on the side, the Minnesota Nords. And they are in white and brown. And we're playing against the Louisiana Zombies, the all Madden Zombies team.
Yep.
And so I just wanted to explain a little bit about what I'm doing here, because the Minnesota Nords have one defensive player with more than 80 speed.
In other words, they're awful.
Yes. So what I did was I built a defensive system based almost entirely on the quarter defense. And so what I've done is basically I've taken the quarter three deep. And if you look at the, we'll go and cycle through here.
All right.
And explain briefly what this all looks like. Basically, what's happening here is that we've got our three-man defensive line. But what I did was I changed this guy and this guy to defensive tackles. And this guy is one of the defensive backs, the guy who lines up approximately over here. Quarter defense.
Yep.
But he's now a defensive end and lined up just outside the slot, next slot outside to where a tight end would line up if he were over here. And of course, this is the linebacker, quarter defense. And we've got cornerback 1, and way over here is cornerback 2. And then out here, this is the guy who replaces the defensive back who would normally line up approximately out here in the quarter defense, and he's also a defensive end. And then, of course, these three guys are the three deep guys.
Yep.
in the quarter three deep defense. But what I've done is I made a couple of preset formations that are mirrors of one another so that I can just quickly do an audible. And this is basically just a line shift. So a normal line shift would look just like this.
Yep.
To the right hand side of the screen. So when I audible the other way, this guy moves up to here. The line shifts this way, and this guy just takes a couple of steps back.
Okay.
And then, of course, the linebacker moves over to here instead.
Yep.
To mirror that position. The cornerback here moves back to here, and the guy on the other side over here moves up.
Yep.
And what this is basically is this is a 4 deep zone with 1 man-to-man. Okay, so this guy's playing man-to-man coverage on that wide receiver, and all of these 4 guys each have a deep zone assignment. So typically what I'll do in a situation like this is if there are more receivers on one side of the field than on the other, then I will do the coverage audible to shift or cheat the deep zone coverage over to this side so that I've got an extra, overlapping deep zone on that side. Right?
Yep.
And of course, this linebacker in this scheme plays a hard flat this way. And this defensive end basically plays kind of like a hybrid linebacker position. And he plays, generally speaking, a flat zone on this side.
Yep.
Okay. And then actually I pass rush with this guy, and this guy. And this fellow plays a hook zone in the middle. And I did a little bit of formation creation magic in order to get him to actually shade into the middle of the field rather than rolling out this way, the way a standard hook zone works.
Yeah.
So anyway, because you and I have discovered that you can get a pretty decent pass rush by simply engaging the guard and the tackle on one side of the line and having either a lineman or a linebacker or a defensive back on the outside who comes around the edge. And so that's basically what I'm doing here. Now, it looks like the zombies are running a shotgun screen because you can see the guard here normally would, in a normal pass play, he would actually like step up and engage me when I'm rushing and I'm controlling the middle, like the nose tackle here.
Yeah.
And, of course, number 67 there, he picks up the other defensive tackle, but then he releases right away. And the halfback, you can see him, he's running like that sort of screen route over to the right.
Yep.
But as a result, what happens is this guy coming from the outside, he's coming untouched now because there's nobody assigned to pick him up, right? And, of course, the center came over to pick me up because the guard wanted to block and release to get out for the screen.
Yeah.
And these two guys are too far away to do anything, right? And that's basically what the whole pass rush thing, even what you do in your 3-3 nickel system.
Continuously, all the time.
This is basically what that whole thing is based on, is that the left guard, in this case, the left guard and the left tackle are simply too far away to be able to come back by the time they realize that they don't actually have anybody to block.
Yeah.
Right. Even on an all Madden team where these guys are very, very fast and very, very aware, they still can't come back in time in order to pick up a strong pass rush from the edge on the opposite side. Right.
Yeah.
But anyway, you can see my defensive tackle standing in the middle here. My defensive end has rolled out to the flat. I've got 4 men in deep zones, plus this guy in man coverage on him. And the reason I do that is to compensate for the lack of speed that these guys have.
Yep.
Okay, because this guy has about 82 speed. These guys all have below 80 speed, which means that they have to start. I basically started them as far back off the line of scrimmage as I could place them in the formation creator.
And yet you still wish you could place them further back.
And if I could place them 5 yards deeper, I would. But anyway, I found this scheme to work surprisingly well, because even though you've got both flats covered by zones, and even though it seems a little thin over the middle short with only one zone defender in the middle, if they throw a short crossing route of some kind, like an in or a short slant or a drag route, well, this guy does a surprisingly good job of patrolling this area, and he won't necessarily break up the pass if it goes too far, outside of his reach. But what will happen quite often is a receiver will catch a short in or a short slant here, and he'll run up there and pound that guy.
Yep.
And when you have a, say, 200-pound wide receiver catching a pass over the middle, getting hit by a 300-pound defensive tackle, well, you end up getting a lot of drop passes.
I quite imagine so.
Because what happens very often is, even though it looks like the receiver should catch the pass, this guy will basically tackle that guy. And like wide receivers, I don't think are used to getting tackled by 300-pound defensive tackles. So,
yeah,
quite like games that I've been playing with this defensive scheme, my opponents get quite a few drop passes, like probably half a dozen a game. Anyway, we're going to continue on here. So he's sets up to throw a screen, but obviously decides to throw the ball downfield instead. And he's trying to throw to this guy over the middle. And if you see what happens here, this is just a lucky bit of contact. And the AI gets away with this nonsense all the time. But basically, my linebacker rushing out to his flat zone gives this guy a little bump. And then here comes the pass. And it goes right at the defender here. And because this guy took a little bump, he's a little behind. So, of course, the ball hits both of them at the same time. And then since he's diving, he falls down on the ground. And the ball bounces off of him and back up into the air. And the defender grabs the pass. And it's an interception. And there we go. That's the end of the play. But that being said, this is the 4 deep zone. And this guy here is actually standing there watching as this ball comes in. And I mean, you know what? As a quarterback, if I'm playing quarterback, there's absolutely no way I'm going to throw this pass, right?
Yeah, he's running right at the zone guy.
The ball is coming right at the zone defender too, right? This is a very low percentage, high risk pass.
I think the best part is it hits him in the back of the helmet, and then that's where the interception comes off of.
But if you watch over here, these guys are playing an overlapping deep zone on this side. We're starting to lose the graphics here. But, you know, like by the time the ball's released, well, they've still got that side of the field covered.
Yeah.
But anyway, that's pretty much the new defensive scheme that I'm running, and I'm running that defensive scheme to compensate for an extreme lack of talent in the defensive personnel. So just thought we'd show that off a little bit before we start our game today.
Alrighty. And we're back.
Yes, and we're going into week 3 of our year 1 franchise of the Crusaders. And we're 2-0 so far. We're doing very well. Last week we played a pretty tough, gritty defensive battle against the Carolina Kitties and ended up beating them 24-6. And it probably should have been 24-0, except that I threw an interception that got returned for a touchdown.
Oh, I wouldn't worry about it.
Because other than that, Rec V5X's defense pitched a shutout in that game. In fact, you even stopped them on their 2-point attempt after the touchdown. So you basically didn't give them anything at all.
Oh,
so,
whatever.
Anyway, I still feel bad about that because you should have.
I never even said anything about it.
I know you should have gotten the shutout in that game, though. And you know what? Unfortunately, those points will be charged against your defense in the statistics, even though your defense didn't allow those points.
Yeah, but at least they'll still be lower than my current average.
Yeah. Oh, well. Anyway. We're up against the Houston Marshals today.
Alrighty. I can't remember what these guys are like at all.
I think that they are a middle echelon team. Like they are kind of, you know, they're not an all Madden team. They're not really a high-powered offense or defense. They're a balanced team, but they're also a fairly good team, I think. You know, like they're one of the better non-all Madden teams because of their balance. They have quarterback Oliver Clark.
And they're not overrated like the big men?
Yeah, and they have halfback Wally Burke, who's also a pretty good player.
Apparently they score lots of points.
Yeah. Yeah, they have a pretty good quarterback, and they've got a pretty decent group of receivers. And I think they also have a bit of a run game if they decide to use it. So you're 7th in the league in defense, allowing 10 points per game.
I'll just have to allow less.
Well, you did. The only problem is you still get charged for that 6 points that I gave up, right? Well, maybe things will go better this time, and I'll be a little more cautious with the ball.
I'll tell you what, this guy could put up some big numbers through the air if that defense doesn't put some pressure on him. He's the type of quarterback who makes
I suspect more or less that I'm going to give up a couple of points every game here just because this is a first season cupcake team.
Yeah.
And with that being said, let's take a look at his best receiver.
Last game I'd more or less call a fluke.
Well, though that being said, the Kitties are a strong defense team, and the only real offensive ability they had was to run the ball because they had a good running back, and you pretty much shut them down. Anyway, we won the toss, and I think I want to defend this end. And the Marshals elect to receive. So we'll set our audibles up here. And today I'm going to try something a little different.
Oh?
Yeah. I've got a play called halfback swing under. We'll try and use as an audible here. Unless they start being really, really tough, then we'll go back to the spread short curls thing. But
well, I'm more or less going to stick with what I always do.
I've been working on developing some a greater variety of plays, that pass plays particularly, that I can use as audibles, because what I've found is I end up having to audible to a pass so much in this game, because by default on first and second down and on third down and less than 4, I pretty much call a run play by default, and then I audible depending on what I see the defense line up in, right?
Yep.
And you know, like, I might throw 40 passes a game, but it's mainly because I'm audibling to a pass based on how the defense lines up, right?
Yep.
I would run the ball 40 times if they'd let me.
Never happened, man.
No, it'll never happen. This game is very, very anti-run. Yeah, they've got fairly fast tight ends, both of them, eh? You'll have to do your thing where you treat those guys like wide receivers, right?
Yeah, that's going to be a bit of a pain in the ass, if I'm honest.
Oh well, I guess you'll just have to use your dime audibles instead of and there's nothing wrong with playing a little man under 2 if you have to.
And we go back to the game.
I do it a lot too.
The home team are lined up for the kickoff.
Well, thankfully they don't have any speed demons at wide receiver. They got a couple of quick guys,
The
but
kick should be
nothing
returned.
overly concerning.
Well, that's why I think, if I remember correctly, these guys take a somewhat balanced approach to their offense, because they don't have dominant wide receivers. They've got good players, like slightly better than average, but they don't have any overpowering speed demons or anything on the team, right? So it's not like they're going to be trying to throw bombs on you all day long,
Backs are
kind of
lined
thing.
up in an eye.
Sideline shriek.
Nope, they started off with a run.
Johnson stops him at the 33-yard line. So a pickup of maybe 3.
And, you know, like I said, they'll probably still pass more than they run, just because that's the way the AI works in this game, but I wouldn't be surprised to have them give the ball to that guy close to 20 times in this game. Because he is a good player, and, you know, their team seems to be built that way, right?
Pressure with the throw.
Oh, Danny Jones picks off the pass. Wow.
Oh, man.
Oh, unbelievable.
Trying to set the pace early. Move the ball down the field.
I can't believe it.
Wow.
And you're heading for the side.
That was the best thing you ever did, taking that wide receiver and turning him into a corner.
I mean, I had to. I didn't have 3 fast corners.
Uh-oh. I could see that guy on the outside there. He beat the tight end really bad.
Yep.
I had nowhere to go
Because the
there.
defense did a good job anticipating the snap count. With an aggressive defense like this, a hard count could be an effective way to keep them off balance while trying to draw them offside.
Okay, well, let's try this out and see how it works.
Dropping back, looking for a receiver. Throws it. Atwater pulls him down.
Well, worked pretty well in the hands of Marshall.
Yeah, we'll see if these guys play a lot of man lock like this, then this is a good audible system to use, because basically this is sort of like almost a square out, except that I discovered a while ago that you can't actually run a square out against this kind of coverage, right? But what happens is I run up the field here about 8 yards, and then I gave him a 90-degree cut right. But then instead of just running straight to the sideline, I actually gave him about a 3-box comeback that ends up about 1 square below horizontal.
Yeah,
So that he's coming back toward me.
at least ideally.
Ideally. I mean,
Depending on where the ball gets thrown.
there was a bit of variance there. You know, like it didn't exactly look like the way it was intended to look, but
Well, it's all dependent on quarterback accuracy too, right?
yeah. But it did get me 9 yards, so I'm not going to complain.
The carry
that play usually gets between 6 and 10 yards.
And Parkman gets you between 1 and 2 yards.
Yep, but that's okay because that's what I needed.
I don't know, half the time when he breaks a big run, I can't even believe it.
Looking downfield, tosses it right.
Oh, he tried to Superman, and that's a touchdown.
Yeah.
Jenkins puts the ball.
Well, that time he was matched up against a wide receiver, right? And I'm not sure what happened there, but that was a linebacker trying to cover him. See, what happens is because I've got 3 receivers bunched on this side, quite often the corner will come over here too, right?
Yep.
And
yeah, it looks like
even,
you've got
even though
a running back and a wide receiver acting as wide receivers on that side.
Yeah.
And then another wide receiver on this side.
Yeah, because typically this guy is a tight end, but the way that the audible worked out here, it was Mills, the wide receiver, who ended up doing this. And yeah, this was a bit risky, but I thought I could get away with it because it was a linebacker covering.
Let's get back to
Well, and apparently you could. He did a good job for a linebacker, but it just didn't matter.
Yeah. Because Mills, he's not got blazing speed, but he is faster than most linebackers.
And it's on its way, and he picks on the extra point.
So we're off to a fast start here.
The home team are ready to kick this one off.
Well, at least you capitalized on the turnover.
Yeah.
Don't worry, I'm sure I'll pay for that one later with cheese.
Not a bad kick. They'll set up for the return.
Look at that, I got 100 power on that, and I still can't make it to the goal line.
The defense looking for a second straight.
Maybe in the off-season we'll see if we can recruit a kicker that has amazing kick power.
We don't need that.
Well, then we can use them on kickoffs and on really long field goals, right? If we have enough roster positions to spare. Well, Danny Jones missed the tackle there, but he slowed the guy down enough that the next guy could catch him.
Well, that's kind of what Danny Jones does.
Yeah.
To be honest with you, I'm surprised that he doesn't miss like every single tackle.
And stop the play before it even gets started.
Number 47, the lone back. With the throw, and it's caught. Jones pulls it in.
Well, he made that tackle.
That pass was right on the mark.
Yep, he just looked up and whap, the pass was right there. Those are the kind of passes your receivers love.
They line up in the I formation. Number 47.
Oh, he managed to find a little gap to slip through there.
Yeah, he just ran away from me there. I even beat my man super duper fast there. Like I beat him instantly, but it didn't matter.
Make some adjustments to slow this guy down.
Because I'm just not fast enough to catch up to him.
Yeah, well, you got to watch out for Wally Burke there because he, like I said, he is a good player and he might hurt you.
Tosses it right.
A little block sucking going on there.
Yeah, well, you know, it wouldn't be Madden without the block sucking.
Yeah.
Second down and short. The quarterback lines up with 2 backs behind him. Pressure coming.
Whoa! You almost got another one there.
Yeah, that would have been Edwards.
Yeah. Well, he gets the odd one too.
That's what caused him to rush the throw a bit.
6th play of this drive.
But interestingly enough, this scheme that you're playing here, you also only have one guy short in the middle, right?
That's right.
And yeah, but you just rely on him to, if he can't be in exactly the right position to stop the pass, you count on him putting a big hit on the receiver to try and force a drop, right?
Pretty much.
That was a good job of racing for the stick and making it.
Although it's pretty hard to stop them from getting a runoff when they've only got inches to go.
Yeah.
I think they were just looking for something more and seeing if it would be offered up.
Oh, well. You managed to stop him for a short loss there.
That was just a defensive line getting lower than the offensive line.
Well, you'll notice that they are making a little bit of mileage on the ground, right?
It makes it very difficult to move the ball.
It makes
number 81, the man in motion.
It makes the offense a little bit tougher when they mix their play calling up a little bit, right?
Again with the run.
Ah, I got stuck on my guy there.
47.
Oh well, you managed to force them into a passing situation now.
They have to get the ball inside the 39 to convert.
Gotta make sure all my man coverage here lines up as I run my 4-man coverage scheme.
And you got a sack.
This is the benefit of why, if you can get away with 4-man coverage in certain situations you want to.
Yeah.
Because you get pretty decent coverage here all around. And I mean, he's not going to throw that flat pass because it's like 3rd down and long, right? And even if he does, I guess this guy could probably catch up. But,
yeah, he's in a good position to make the tackle before that guy could make a first down.
By the time that route already develops, he's already getting hit.
Yeah.
Right? But, you have this extra guy hanging around out here, and it kind of causes problems. And then you've got another guy playing a flat over here, right? And yeah, okay, he's not in, like, the greatest position, but he's got man coverage guy to help him out. Right? Mr. Ben French, defensive end.
Yeah, and you can get away with the 4-man coverage thing quite often because they almost always leave a running back in to block.
That's right. Well, the main thing that screws up 4-man coverage, because that's why I still play the flat zones, is in case they send the running back out, because he'll end up in a flat area first, more often than not. But the only thing that really truly screws up the 4-man coverage is if they have a tight end on the weak side of the formation. And only if they have a tight end on the weak side of the formation. Because if they have them on the strong side of the formation, your 4th-man coverage guy will cover the tight end. But if they have him on the weak side of the formation, your 4th-man coverage guy will cover the running back and leave the tight end totally uncovered. And why that happens, I have no idea. I'm pretty sure it's a programming bug or something like that. But it's completely stupid and it breaks your man coverage, which is why I have the 5-man coverage audibles. It's so that I can line up in 4-man coverage, and then if it doesn't look good for 4-man coverage, I can audible to 5-man coverage, so that tight end's always covered. Because especially with these guys, when they have a tight end that has 76 speed, you don't want to let that guy catch the ball.
No.
They were on him like glue.
Yeah, he's almost as fast as a wide receiver, right?
Yeah, I mean, he's not quite Antonio Gates or Winslow speed or anything like that, right? Because those are the fast tight ends in this game, in this era of football, but still pretty fast. Fast enough to be a serious threat, right? Because he's basically, you can divide your tight ends into, like, I guess, generalized tight ends, blocking tight ends, and receiving tight ends. And your receiving tight ends are going to have like over 72 speed. That's when they really start to come into their own. But I guess around 69, they're kind of borderline. Your average tight end speed is going to be like 58 to 63. And then your, like, blocking tight end speed is going to be like low 50s.
Gives the ball off. Christensen pulls him.
Or if you're Adam Parkman, you get converted to fullback because you don't even have 50 speed.
Yeah.
And you can't run pass routes, and you can't catch, but you have like 80 carrying.
Yeah, well, unfortunately there, somebody forgot to block that particular defender.
Look at Clark go.
Yeah.
See, I think he's got promising physical characteristics, but he's just dumber than a sack of nails, and he needs to develop his agility and break tackle a little more.
Yep.
Changing the play
now.
Oh my god, really?
Yeah.
Parkman is your long guy?
Here comes the blitz. Gets the pass.
I think I'll throw the swing pass.
Parkman's going to give you 2 blocks.
Yeah. See, that's what Parkman does for you, right? is he's never going to catch a pass out here in a wide receiver position, but you know, like for some reason, again, like we talked about 4-man coverage, and one of the reasons that you and I are both fairly successful on offense is because we'll throw passes to that running back, eh?
Yep.
And
oftentimes your running back's the uncovered guy.
Oftentimes the running back is the uncovered guy. And that is a huge weakness in the defense that, you know, it took us both a while to discover, but eventually we figured it out.
Calling an audible.
So we'll see if we can get the running game cranked up a little bit here.
Number 86.
Oh, for some reason I just can't fit through that gap.
So a gain of about 1.
Well, you didn't lose anything.
No, I think that's basically my goal on first down. Anyway, the way that the running game works in this game, basically I just want to not lose yards on first down. And if I can manage that.
Look at the call. Jackson brings him down at the 29-yard line. 2-yard gain.
Well, 3rd and 7 is easier to make than 3rd and 10.
First down marker is just inside the 22.
As they get ready for this 3rd down play, we'll take a look at how they
Well,
do today.
3rd down conversions
they're
is a
playing some
keeper
kind
stat.
of a zone
When you
defense,
convert
but
on
maybe.
3rd down, you keep
Ooh, look at that,
things.
they're sneaking
You
that
keep
guy
your
up there.
drive going, you keep their
I
defense
see
on the
you.
field, and you keep your defense resting on the sideline.
Throwing
Oh.
short to his left. Incomplete pass.
I just couldn't get the pass away.
Yeah, he got
Yep.
out of there, but it was way off because of that hit he took.
They got away with sending everybody that time just because that guy got there so fast.
Looking to make a good kick here.
Ooh.
The kick
Come
is up.
on! Oh, I'm going to be short.
Not a good kick right there.
It's as good of a kick as he can make, though, Al.
Ball on their
But
own
as you can
30.
see, it's very anti-run. Like, I probably should have audible to a pass play in those
Number
situations,
47
right?
in the backfield. Handed off to the back, still running.
Whoa, what was that?
Brings him down.
Wow.
I don't know.
27-yard
That
line.
looked like he
Number
should have been
47
stopped
gets
right
what he
there,
wanted
right?
for the first.
He just sort of bounced off a team tackle, right? That looked like the team tackle animation, except that they didn't tackle him,
When you're
right?
talking about execution in the running game,
Oh,
this is
they just had a guy
the
jump.
kind of thing you're
Yeah, they had their tight end jump.
Walker down on the field. Carry moved a little early there.
Well, that's
Yeah, the
okay
rule
with
for
me.
the offensive line is, once
I don't
you
mind
put
it when
your
they jump
hand
early.
down, you can't move until the ball snaps.
See? Because of this stupid crap, now I have to,
Play here on first down.
and yeah, they're going to throw the halfback rope, but he's got a guy covering him who can't tackle him.
That's okay. Again, though, he still slowed him down so that the rest of your defense could move up, right? And they lost 2 yards on
Number
him,
47 gets the reception.
in spite of him breaking the first tackle.
Get back onside.
Receives the handoff. Jones makes the
There's
See
Jones
linebacker
again.
jump offside there?
Yeah, I know. They do that sometimes. They'll step over the line while they're doing their hand waving nonsense, right? I know. I don't like it when they do that too. That drives me nuts.
And here we go, getting more of a steady diet of weak side tight end.
Under pressure, throws it, and
But that's okay. He had no room to take that anywhere.
George will come into this game to punt. Here's the
Yeah, I don't know what it is, but the AI lines up with a reversed formation like almost every play.
They're trying to mess with you. That's what they're trying to.
Pretty much, yeah.
First and 10.
Because
I mean,
think
the game designers themselves must have been aware of the weird glitchiness that happens with reverse formations?
Probably.
Because they line up in a reverse formation every single time.
Dropping back, looking downfield, throwing. He hits his receiver. Atwater makes the tackle at the 23. Jenkins could have knocked the wind out of the receiver with that first down throw.
That's the one thing. You know that your time is short and the defense is going to be pushing right in your face on third down. So a shorter drop and a quick throw will usually beat that if you don't need a lot of yardage.
Well, we'll keep trying this. We'll keep testing the middle against this three-man line.
Number 86.
Maybe eventually somebody will actually throw a block.
He just got hit. He's lucky to be able to hold on to the ball.
That one goes for just a few yards. He was building up some steam, but couldn't keep it going.
You have to credit the defense for playing the run so well. If they can keep holding him to gains like that, you won't see too many rushes from the offense in the second half.
Number 47 moves in motion, directing traffic. Surveys the field, throws it.
Oh, come on.
This one falls incomplete.
That's nonsense.
He let that one
Really?
Overthrow.
Overthrows his receiver.
Looks a little
Yeah, you had
jumpy
both
back
your
there.
feet planted there
One thing you
too.
never wanna
Yeah, I
do
know.
is
It's just
look
that
at the rush.
oh, that
You wanna keep your
overthrow
eyes
garbage,
downfield.
right?
If you start looking at the rush,
You know,
you
like
can never
because
be
when they
effective.
don't have an answer to what you're doing, then you'll start to see things like that happen instead, right?
The scripted overthrow?
Yeah, they can't actually stop you, so they basically
With the pass.
force you into a situation where you end up stopping yourself, right?
At the 39.
Watch it here. This is a great call on third down to keep this drive alive. They were in a tough spot here, but this is a heck of a throw and catch to pick
Oh
up
my.
that first down.
Okay.
Looks like he's calling an audible. Dropping back to pass on first down. Gets away the off balance.
Oh, I just couldn't get it over that guy because I was still backpedaling when I threw that.
But at least he didn't let the receiver make the catch either. Still a pretty good effort.
Sixth play of this drive.
Well, it's pretty tough though when they line up everybody within 5 yards of the line of scrimmage.
See something in the defense.
Well, that's why I try and do that though, because I'm trying to burn them when they crowd the line like that, right?
He's looking, throws it.
Hey, he caught it.
The 50. Williams with the stop at the 47. His offense having no trouble moving the ball on this.
I don't think he actually ran that route correctly, but he caught it anyways.
Yeah, well, he was open, so I threw it to him.
Put an end to this drive.
Yeah, there's a lot of times where they tend not to cover the fullback too.
Yeah.
Throwing on first down.
I guess that's why the fullback is guy that catches a lot of passes, even with the vanilla offensive playbook. Say.
Yep.
The AI tries to throw to the fullback a lot.
Although it only is really super duper effective when they have those all Madden fullbacks with their like 95 speed and other ridiculous attributes.
This one is handed off.
There, we finally got a little room in the middle there.
33-yard line. Fresh set of downs after a nice pickup on the ground.
Hey, nice job up front, holding their block and allowing him to get a good run for a first down.
The Marshals come out in a nickel package.
Texas 35. Come on, Kentucky.
Mark. Atwater records the tackle at the 28-yard line. Good solid run there, and that's exactly what
Well, managed to make 5 yards on the ground there anyway.
Best backs in the league average 4 to 5 yards a carry. And, you know, that's the kind of production that every coach is looking for. But there are a lot of things that go into a successful running game. You got to have good play calling, good blocking up front.
See, they're showing me that really spread line. So if I can get some blocking here, then I can actually make some positive yardage just by jamming it up the middle, right?
Yep.
If the defense is looking to force these guys out of their game plan, they're going to need to attack.
And that's why I use that fullback dive as an audible, right?
Changing the play now. Looking for a receiver. Throwing.
Hey!
See that? Swing pass again, right?
That one will leave a mark.
He got caught. I'll
Gets
tell you what,
clothesline,
when
just
you
gets
feel
right
that
back up again.
Yep.
The first down on
If nothing
that
else, he's
They
tough.
ran the perfect play
I've been
to get
keeping him
those
busy.
couple of
He's
yards.
starting to look a little bit tired out there.
Set.
Looks like he's calling an audible.
Parkman bomb.
Yeah.
Pass play here on first down. On the run. And the catch. is
Oh, that's a
made.
touchdown.
Yeah.
Jenkins gets that ball up for his second touchdown pass.
See, again, though, that's that same pattern, right? And what I notice is that if you just try to do a square out, the defender seems to be able to jump in front of the pass, right?
Which
Yep.
comes in for the
But
extra
if you
point.
do almost like a hook, then
And it's up.
you know, that seems to give you enough separation that you can actually throw, you know, like a
This is
bullet.
one of those teams
And what I
that's
do
never
is
out of
I
the game.
lead that
Let them
one
get going
downward and
early. They
away.
can really control the tempo of the game. If they fall behind, they have the weapons on the offensive side to put points on the board very quickly.
It's on
To
its
try and
way.
make the receiver run back toward the ball too, right?
Yep.
From the 8. Looking for leverage.
I think he tried to stiff arm you there.
This drive
Yeah.
started after the last series ended with a punt. It's first and 10. Number 47, the deep back. Number 47, the 30. Big pop that time.
Well, we got the big team
Someone there to
tackle.
tell you to watch out
Yep.
because he just got decked.
Well, you managed to
The
eat up all the
back can average
blockers at
more
the
than
line of
5 or
scrimmage,
6
so you
yards
didn't have
a carry.
any
You have to make sure that you
offensive
get the
lineman
ball
escapees down there, right?
Well, that was certainly not by design. I more or less was just trying to play my position.
Was handed off. Edwards makes the tackle at the 36. Barber did a nice job breaking away.
Yeah,
from that
quick
tackle.
handoff to the
Well, it started
fullback
with
there.
some good blocking. And when he got through there, he turned
It's
upfield.
really not that surprising,
They weren't
though.
in position to tackle.
No, if they were
So,
willing to
first
chew
and
up
10.
yardage in 3 or 4 yard chunks at a time, they could probably have some success doing that kind of thing more, right? But they'll never do it because they don't have the patience to,
Couldn't find
right?
any room
Yep.
on that one.
They really hustle on
You know,
the
I'm
defensive
willing to
side
hand
of
it
the
to a
ball.
guy
They're
on the
very good
inside
at
and get
blocking
4
up the line,
yards.
limiting the number
I'm
of holes
okay
and
with
cutback
that.
lanes at the back.
And
Has
if
to
they'll
choose.
allow me to do it, I'll do it all day. But the AI is just not programmed
Moves
that
in
way.
motion. Dropping back. Gets rid of it.
Oh, oh, oh. Wow, the circus has come to town.
Well, they are linebackers for my team, right?
Yeah, he had 2 shots at that.
The guys up front, instead of creating pressure, then you don't have to blitz as often, giving you the ability to double cover an opponent's best receiver.
They'll go from the I formation. Pressure, throws it.
Oh!
This pass is
Well, he
What a
al-
heroic effort that would have been.
yeah, he almost
There are times
managed to
throws
dive
like
and
that.
catch that.
That would have made the highlight of the week.
Wrong choice.
I don't know, that would have, even if he'd have managed to quote-unquote catch that, I think I would have challenged that catch because that would have been close enough that it would have almost hit the ground before he could catch it
Here's the
anyway,
punt.
right?
And he waves for the fair catch.
Well, I don't think that there was going to be any returning that.
No.
First and 10.
No, basically they should have just made a play in the special teams
Defense
that you
lines
could
up
select
in the-
called fair catch.
Although, with the punt block formation, sometimes you get to return a punt.
Solid
Yeah.
hit, just crunched it.
Very rarely.
When you get hit like that, it's like having
Not
a
very
bumblebee
often.
in your helmet.
I didn't get a
Can't
very
rid
good
of it.
spot on
Coach
that
is
play.
sticking
Wow.
to the game plan that he discussed with us this week.
Yeah, he's the type of
Yeah, I don't know
coach
what
that
it
thinks
is,
being
but
more
the
physical than the other
default
team
return
is the key
or
to
punt
winning the
return
game. He
formations
has his guys
absolutely
running hard and
suck
hitting hard, thinking that they'll
for
have more
blocking.
gas
I don't know
left in
what
the
makes the
tank
punt
when
block
fourth
better,
quarter rolls around.
Looks like he's calling an audible.
but you just seem to get better blocking off of it because of the crappy way special teams is designed in this game.
Surveying the field. Throwing. The 40.
Oh, fingernail tackle. I could have gotten another 10 yards if I'd have been able to get away from that guy.
Yep.
And he's a good option coming out of the backfield. He can do a lot more than just block. He can
You'll
catch
notice
it out
I'm
of the
throwing to my
backfield,
running
carry
backs a
it.
lot more than I
Heck,
used
I
to.
didn't even seen him throw
Right.
it once or twice.
Oh, it's important, right? They're the guys with speed on the team, right?
Oh, well, it looks to me like they are kind of being tricky here.
Dropping back to pass on first down.
Uh-oh.
It's the pass off.
Oh, he caught it anyway.
And then got pasted.
Yeah, well, I guess...
And then he goes and he threatens to spike the ball at the sideline because, you know, he's got a, like, awareness rating of 30.
yeah, you saw what they did there, though, right? They kind of did this weird man lock inside, but they had the corners outside in the zone.
Yep.
Jones takes him down at midfield.
And that's why when I audibled, I expected the corners to move in, but they didn't, right?
Really open up things for him in the second half.
Well, let's call this on
So
purpose
they need about 3 here.
instead of as an audible. Normally, this is one of my audible plays. Uh-oh.
And we can attribute this lead to their ability to convert on third down.
Looking at the same sort of thing again here.
Dropping
Yep.
back. Gets rid of it.
Oh, he dropped it.
Oh, he had it and lost it.
Ah.
Incomplete.
Thanks, buddy. You really did us a solid there.
Yeah, he was wide open too, right? Just a regular 4-yard curl, and you should catch those. That's just about the easiest pass to catch that there is.
This one is shallow and short.
And ends up being like a 40-yard punt or a 35, 36-yard punt.
Yep. Well, I want to try and stop it inside the 20, right? And that's what I found. That method is the way that is the easiest way to get his punt to stop inside the 20.
Breaks the tackle. Waller
I think that was
pulls him
Danny
down
Jones,
at
probably.
the 25
That
yard
he just
line.
ran over.
And that gain will get
Yep,
them
he
a
just
fresh
ran over
touchdown.
Danny
He
Jones.
just exploded towards the marker that time. That was a big-time run.
The quarterback lines up with 2 backs behind him. Throwing. And it's caught. And he's pushed out of bounds.
That was a wide
30-yard
receiver
line.
flat pass.
Yep. Luckily, though, you play the kind of coverage where that guy more often than not is being covered by a man anyway.
Yep.
Right?
Out of the gun. Drops back. Surveying the field. It's
Wow, he had to throw that behind him.
The tackle
Yep.
At the 45-yard line.
Well, they're engaging in high-risk behavior there, right? Like they're throwing it right at your coverage.
Almost at the 2-minute mark now.
And if they keep doing that, then sooner or later he's going to throw you another interception there.
The Marshals come out with 4 wide receivers lined up tight, and he just got level.
Yeah, you know that whole deal about what happens when an unstoppable
Well,
force...
get
meets
ready
an
for the
immovable
2-minute
object?
drill.
Well, the
Yep.
unstoppable force won that one.
Looks like he's calling an audible. With the throw. And
Oh, boy, that was close.
Yeah,
He
that's our
almost-
number one corner.
Yeah, he
screwing the
almost
pooch
got
there.
He almost got away from you there. Wow.
He'll pass on first down. With the pass.
Ooh.
Drops the interception. And
Holding.
there's a flag on the play.
Back him up 10 yards.
They'll get him for holding here.
I didn't really see a hold on that one. That could be one of those phantom calls.
And this is
totally
the
holding,
6th
John.
play of this drive.
Yep, it was
Changing
totally
the play
holding.
now.
They never call a penalty if it isn't actually a penalty, right?
Clark with a man in motion.
They never call penalties in this game.
Drops back. Throwing. Great throw.
Wow, that was terrible coverage.
Yeah, it was.
The Marshals.
But here they
well
come
oiled,
now in the
moving
hurry
down
up.
the field with efficiency.
What they're doing here is keeping the defense from huddling up. And it keeps the same defense on the field.
Carrier, the man in motion. Gets rid of it, and he makes the grab. Ooh, that one will leave a mark.
He got hit so hard he darn near had to take a taxi back to the stadium.
They're gonna
Well,
cut
looks
it
like they
here
might
and
score
straight
on
to
you.
the line. Gets the pass off. He hits his
Ooh, held him out.
loaded on.
Boom. Now that is what football's all about.
Drops back. Looking for an option. Looking comfortable in the pocket.
Oh, come on, guys.
Well, he had a long time to throw that. He stood back there for 6 seconds easily.
Yeah, well, I know. What am I supposed to do, though?
Yeah, well, you just couldn't
And
get
man,
any
oh,
pressure.
man.
That's what that was. That was a lack of pressure because you had them totally covered for the longest time. But if you give them 5 or 6 seconds to stand back there,
I
sooner
actually
or
look
later,
at that more as bullshit. It's
sooner
myself.
or later he'll find
Our coverage
somebody.
guys should be a little bit more active instead of standing there with their hands in their pockets.
For the extra point.
That's what I say. Fuck this whole pick apart bullshit. That's just bullshit coverage.
The Marshals draw to within a touchdown. The Marshals are set to kick it.
Well, it took them 10 plays to do that anyway.
Nice distance.
Well, it's like the unstoppable 2-minute offense thing, though, right?
Yeah. Yeah, they just make you leak yardage until they eventually get to where they're trying to go, right?
Yeah, well, and they'll throw like all kinds of miracle passes and stuff that they normally can't complete during a 2-minute offense in order to move down the field and score. All right, the only way you can prevent that is if you control the ball for the majority of the 2 minutes in the last bit of a half, and then just run the clock out.
Yeah.
38, changing the play now. He sees something in the defense. Calling an audible now. Jenkins with a man in motion. Drops back. Surveying the field. Throws on the move. Right to him. Williams makes the tackle at the 49. Looks like he's calling an audible. Directing traffic. Throwing on first down. Gets the pass off. He hits his receiver. And he goes out of bounds at the 41. They have to get the ball inside.
You know I left you with 3 timeouts, huh?
Yep.
Clark, the motion man. Calling an audible now. Dropping back. Pressure coming.
Oh, well, you know what? That was just doomed right from the start.
They're looking now at 3rd and long after the sack. They come out of the nickel. Clark moves in motion. He surveys the field with the throw. Perfect pass. And he's pushed out of bounds.
Well, I got out of bounds. I got enough time to try a field goal. Yeah, it's just a bit of a clock management thing, right? Like I don't want to give them enough time to do anything with the ball. Ooh, I think I probably missed this one too.
Yep.
Yeah. Oh well.
That's 2.
No time left. Yeah, they're both kind of longish field goals though, right? But I'm going to do that this off season if I can. If we have enough room in the roster, I'm going to try and get a rookie kicker that has 90+ kick power right off the bat. Yeah, because then I can kick those long field goals.
Nice kick.
And you know, like I can have the accurate guy for kicking the shorter ones, right?
If you ask me, I don't know, man. I think it's just your draft picks are better spent in other places.
Despite very little success,
Like me, I'm going to get like 3 or 4 or 5 new linebackers.
They've got other weapons that can get them in the end
And some of those linebackers are going to end up as defensive ends, and some of them are going to end up playing safety.
Yeah. There, you see how Marshall caught that? He basically walled the defender off with his body, right?
Yep.
2 yards to go.
That's something I've discovered, is that it's a fairly reliable high percentage pass.
He surveys the field, throws it, and his pass is completed. Atwater makes the stop at the 47-yard line. Good throw there and a first down pickup.
You know, an NFL quarterback has to have a strong arm to be successful. He doesn't necessarily need to be able to throw it 70 yards, but he has to put some zip in the ball and squeeze it into tight places.
Well, we'll have to see if we can get a touchdown here.
Passing on first down. Looking for a receiver. Slings it out left side. And the catch is made.
Holding.
Oh, of course.
At the 33.
Right? They got to slow us down a little bit here.
The hold is you can't let your hands go to the outside of the body. If your
Hey, just
hands
need to throw that
do
ball
move
again.
outside, then you have to move them back in.
Let's just see that one more time. We'll see an instant replay of that.
Yeah.
Pass play here on first down. Surveying the field. Gets the pass off. Hale.
Well, I guess that long bomb didn't happen after all.
No, well, I had to check down there, right?
Yep.
I was hoping, because sometimes that route that Rhodes runs from that formation, if they're playing a zone, you can sometimes split the zone with him, right? But because the short guy will stay down to cover the running back, and the safety will cover the other guy running the other deep route, right?
Looking for an option. Throwing.
Wow, look at Mills making the leaping catch.
Yep. Well, sometimes you got to just have a little bit of patience when you're throwing those long bombs, right?
Well, I guess Bo Jenkins has the arm to do it too, right?
Yep.
It's first and 10.
And you have to stretch the field a little bit. You have to take those long shots sometimes, because if you never do, then it doesn't make their defense adjust, right?
I mean, if I'm totally honest, I don't think their defense adjusts anyways.
Especially their short passing game.
Number 86. Aristegi brings him down at the 29-yard line. And John is still trying to move the ball on the ground.
This is a tough physical team that likes to run the ball.
See, you can see the balance, right? 248 yards passing and 35 yards rushing.
Yeah, it's a perfectly balanced attack.
Yeah, and yet I call a run play like every time I come to the line of scrimmage, right?
Yeah, you don't even sort your playbook. You just have 3 run plays on the same screen.
Yeah, well, that's because I almost invariably call an audible anyways, right? So I don't really worry too much about it.
The home team have handled this defense, John, as they've averaged over 8 yards per pass play on first down.
And the scoreboard helps tell the story.
Again with the carry.
I don't know. I still think, what good is it to be that stingy against the run if you're going to give up 300 or 400 yards passing every game anyway, right? You know, like, I think that they do not play a bend but don't break type of a defense at all, right? It's basically all or nothing all the time.
Looking for a receiver.
He juggled it, but he caught it.
Yeah. You know, like they either make a big play or stuff you for a loss or something like that, or they give up a big gain, right?
Yeah.
There's no in between.
Directing traffic. Drop again. Big hit on the ball carrier.
And when you talk about getting unloaded on, that's what happened here.
Well, at least you didn't lose anything.
6 yards to go.
No. Well, like I said, that seems to be the pattern that this game follows, though, right? Run for a loss or a short gain and then throw a pass.
Changing the play now. Guns it to the right side. Right
Or a touchdown.
Jenkins puts points on the board with that pass.
Well, that's one way to take the field goal kicking problems out of the game, is you just make it so you don't need to kick field goals.
See, there you go. That's what you should have been doing the whole time.
Yeah.
The kicker for the point after. The kick is up, and the extra point is good. The home team are ready to kick this one off.
Well, that took almost half the third quarter.
Should be a return here. From the 6-yard line. Houston needs 2 scores to get back into this one. So they have 1st and 10 here. John, their first down rushing average is very impressive.
Yeah, they're getting some solid blocking inside and outside. If you can get into the flow of the game and your yards per carry are this high, then you found a huge weakness in the defense.
The backs are lined up in an I. Closing in, goes with a short pass to the right side.
Well, the coverage is there. It's just not quite fast enough to stop them from getting like a yard.
It's 1st
Yep.
and 10.
Yeah, they threw the swing pass out to the wide side of the field, and that's a little bit harder for those slow linebackers to cover.
They've been very good rushing the ball on 1st down, but still trail.
Yeah, sometimes a strong running game doesn't always translate into scoring a lot of points.
Another run.
Well, that was all about you that time.
At the 41-yard line.
Yeah, it looked like everybody on that side of the line got pushed totally
A running
backwards.
attack that is consistent and effective
Everyone at
will help
once.
the offense
Yeah.
dictate the pace of the game.
Number 47 lines up behind his fullback in the I. With the throw, and he had it and lost it, incomplete. Great effort up front to put the pressure on.
And you'll see that kind of thing out of these guys a lot. They're big and they're strong and they're fast. Opposing offensive line sure have their hands full when they get out in this field.
Only one man back.
Oh, wow.
I even hit him there.
Yep.
Stops him at the
Oh, look at that.
44-yard line.
Your outside linebacker was offside anyway. Right, with all that stupid animation that he does there.
Yeah.
I'd almost wonder if you can stop that by redoing the linebacker shift or something, right?
Well, if I did one, unfortunately I actually have them hard-coded in the formation here.
Yeah.
They give it to the halfback.
It's those stupid little animations that they put in just to quote-unquote add to the game, right?
Sometimes you can be a little over.
Yeah, well, we all
and
know
they
what they were adding to the game.
You know, like, and unless you're a complete idiot, you know where the line of scrimmage is. You don't step over it when you're a linebacker. Like,
Especially when you're just
absolutely-
passively signaling.
Yeah, like there's absolutely no reason to do that.
Pressure, gets rid of it.
Oh, wow.
Nearly a turnover.
That one looked like it
Poor.
slipped out of his hand a
Actually, I
little
think
bit
that
while he
was
winding up
that wasn't
the
Ben
run.
French. That was the other guy. Zach Mack, I think, won the position battle.
And here's what
Yeah.
they've been able to do
Again?
so far on 3rd
Yep.
down.
Third down is when you want your players to dig deep and make a clutch play. When you convert, it gives your defense a little extra rest, and it gives you
Oh, what was that
fresh set of
coverage?
downs to work with.
Hart really lets it fly.
When you have a guy with a quick release like
Oh,
this,
that was
it can
terrible.
really frustrate the pass rush. Seems like you
Well,
always
that's
get
going to
through
happen.
just before they can get to him.
It is, after all, season 1, right?
It's in the game.
Hey, you better hurry up there. They're going to call something random for you.
They line up in the I formation. Hand it off to the back.
Face mask.
Loaded on it.
Yep,
Boom. Now that is what football's all about.
they're going to get those points, right? They're going to get those points, Rugby 5X. There's nothing you can do
Whatever it
about
takes
it.
to get a guy down. This time he got caught pulling him down by the mask.
This is the 10th play of this drive, so they need about 3 here. They'll go from the I formation. Armstrong goes in motion. Tucks it away. He's inside the 10. Waller makes the play at the 7.
See, that's the thing that makes these guys challenging to stop, right? Is that they're willing to run the ball. And in that situation, I would say you were probably looking for a pass there, right?
Well, I'm always looking for a pass.
Yeah.
And we're back.
And 9 times out of 10, most of the teams that you play will pass in that situation.
Seven yards to go for the touchdown.
Maybe he'll get lucky and get one here if he throws into that dense short zone.
Dropping back. Pressure coming with the
Oh, well, you had a chance there.
pretty good
Almost.
coverage downfield.
Yep, it hit him right in the hands.
Incomplete.
He had some room up in front of him to scramble out of the pocket and pick up a few yards. Maybe he should have done that.
And this is the 12th play of this drive. Number 81 moves in motion. Still running. Great move.
Oh, come on!
And then a face
Come
mask.
on!
Wow, that's a big one, too. That gives him
God.
first and goal at the 2, right?
Absolutely ridiculous. All you had to do was tackle the guy.
Sideways like
Yep.
that, I bet he thought his whole head had just been readjusted on his neck.
Well, like I said, they're going to score those points. I don't think there's anything you can do about it on this drive.
So it's first and goal.
That's 2 face masks on the same drive.
Well, and then you also had, like, at least 3
Number 47,
interception
long
opportunities on this drive where it literally the ball hit your defender in the hands right in front of his face, right?
And makes contact with the guy behind the line of scrimmage, but not strong enough to hold him back.
Yeah. You can only tackle him if he uses the face mask as a handle, right?
Yeah, apparently.
Yeah.
Well, that's why I draft linebackers with 80-plus strength.
And it's up. The extra point
Yeah,
attempt
you draft
is
defensive
good.
ends to play
The Marshals
linebacker.
now find
That's right.
themselves within a
Yeah.
touchdown.
And safety.
The Marshals are set to kick
Well,
the
that
deep.
took them 15 plays.
But only 4
And he
minutes.
got all of that
Yeah,
on a
well,
great
that's because they
hit.
hurry all the
Bearcat.
time, right?
Kansas City is still up by 7.
But anyway, here we go again. Hopefully I can put some points on the board here again and,
The home team.
keep them down.
Great job throwing on.
Well,
first
the
down.
trend has been every second drive you seem to
What
get
makes their offense
some
so
success.
effective
So,
Yeah.
They keep the defense off balance.
They'll pass on first down. Throws it. He hits his receiver. Loses the defender.
run, Pete Clark, you dumb motherfucker.
Hey, that broken tackle turned that into a big play, eh?
When we were watching them in practice, they were running this play. It's almost one of those sandlot type of deals where you go long and I'll get it to you.
He sees something in the defense. Calling an audible now. Pass play here on first down with the throw, and this pass is completed. Jones with the tackle at the 35. Caught the pass but didn't go anywhere.
Yeah, the defense is real good at putting a quick end to completion.
Well, completed 25 passes.
Set. Grade. 28.
Yeah, look at that lovely, long, audible animation.
Yep.
This one is
I don't know, they put a lot of things in the game that I think would have been better left out.
barely got enough.
Like the big, long,
Like the big, long, audible animation.
Really running on
right?
that play.
that's uncancelable.
Feet moving, he was able to push
Or
forward and get to
linebackers
first.
doing meaningless signaling at the line of scrimmage
And then going offsides.
and then going offside.
It's bad enough that that guy also got the face mask penalty later in that drive, too.
Yeah.
Going to the air on first down. Gets rid of it.
Oh, he dropped it that time.
Yeah, you hit him in the face with that.
Come up with it, but he just couldn't get it under control.
He did a nice job of getting off the line and getting into his pass pattern.
See, that's what happens, right? As soon as I start to get drop passes and things like that on drives like this, that's when I stall, right?
Jenkins sends a man in motion. He sees something in the defense. Dropping back. Throws it. And it's lost. Big hit there. He was run over by a truck.
Yeah, 2-ton truck pulling a trailer.
Well, we
I
seem to
think
be
that was
having...
a linebacker.
They're threatening inside the
Yeah, more often than not, if that guy is covered, he's being covered by a linebacker.
Actually, it looked like that linebacker was dropping back in a deep zone.
72. Cowboy, 53.
Gets rid of it. Great pass. Jones is the guy who's...
Rhodes is like, haha, I'm too fast. You can't tackle me.
Consecutive first down.
Yeah, Rhodes is not very fast.
You want to keep it going until the defense finds a way to stop it.
So we've reached the end of the third quarter with the home team ahead of the Marshals 21-14. And we'll start the fourth quarter. So it's first and goal.
See, I told you, though, the Marshals are actually a pretty good mid-level team, right?
I don't know. To be honest with you, I think they've been somewhat mediocre so far. It's just my defense has played mediocre too.
He surveys the field, throws it.
Oh, I overthrew it.
Incomplete pass. He had too much on that
It
pass.
was an overthrow.
He has to learn to take a little bit off it sometimes. You don't want to try and guide it in there or put it up for grabs, but you also need to give your guy a chance to catch the ball.
53.
Number 86.
Wow.
He kept his legs turning and moving on that one. Nobody was going to keep him from scoring.
Yeah. What was that, an 8-yard touchdown run?
Yep.
Yep. This boom runs right through number 37 there. That's why we have him out there.
Yeah, in spite of the fact that he's god-awful molasses slow.
The point after. The kick is up.
Well, I'm kind of glad I was able to get the touchdown that way, actually.
Now enjoy a 2-touchdown lead. The home team are lined up for the kickoff.
See, they're maintaining some time of possession, right? Because, like, it seems like...
Yo, all those face mask penalties will really help you hold on to the ball.
Yeah. But that's partly what's keeping the score sort of lower than what it was normal too, right?
Able to come back in this one. It's an issue of pride. They want to prove that they're better than they've played so far.
So they have first and 10 here. The backs are lined up in an I. Going to the air on first down. Throws it.
Oh, wow. See, another one, right?
Yep.
If you could even catch 1 in 5, you'd have like 2 interceptions in this game.
Closing in with the pass.
There's
That
another one.
halfback
This pass is
just pancaked my linebacker.
Yeah. Did you see that though? You had another one. Your defender there, Ben French, reached up and ball hit him in both hands and then fell to the ground.
Yeah, well.
Number 47 is the deep back. Carrier, the man in motion. Tucks it away. Fakes the handoff. Launches it deep.
Yeah, you got burned on the play action, right?
The 10.
Yeah. He must have run towards the line of scrimmage on that.
No, I found that happens, right, with the defensive backs if they're not very smart. If they get fooled by the play fake too, and then they either freeze or they take.
Well, because Gooden there has like 88 speed, right? Like he's not a slow defensive back. He's as fast as their fastest wide receiver. But basically, he must have bid on the play fake there.
Yeah, I think if you watch the replay of that, he took probably 2 or 3 steps in toward the line of scrimmage, right? That's one of the reasons that with the more recent defensive playbook that I'm using now, I've taken extreme measures to compensate for that.
Well, under normal circumstances, I would just play a game where I back everybody off the line of scrimmage constantly, right?
Yeah.
But because I don't want to give these guys the short pass over and over and over again.
I don't know. After that, I think personally I would rather just leak the yardage
first down.
Yeah, but it makes no sense to do that if you can't move down the field and score here.
Yeah.
Couldn't handle it.
Well, anyway. We'll try this. We'll try this pass again. Okay.
Jenkins with a man
See if
in
he
motion.
can catch it this time.
Looking for an option, tosses it right. He hits his
So you got to try
receiver.
twice
Brings
all the
him
time,
down
right?
at the 40.
You got to do everything twice.
Yeah.
Fire and remains unstoppable. First and 10. Looks like he's changing the play. He'll pass on first down. Throws it, and this pass is completed. Jones is the guy who's
See, that pretty much the only time that pass doesn't work is if the guy I throw it to drops it.
Inside the 45 to convert for the first down. Calling an audible. To carry it, and he's stopped at the 42-yard line. Number 86 picks up about 5 on that run, moving the chains in the process.
The line did a great job there of blocking the backside pursuit, which helped them get the first down.
Oops. Come on.
Cowboy 53. Cowboy 72.
Clark. Mitchell makes the play at the 38. So a pickup of maybe 3. First down marker is just inside the 32.
Well, one thing anyways about this is that it may not be getting me huge yardage, but it does help me to run time off the clock, right? There, you can see that route now over there, right?
Throwing. And the catch is made.
And that's a touchdown. Goodbye. Oh, I didn't quite have enough speed
You
to
needed
get
to
there.
veer a little bit more to the right, I think, just to give yourself a little bit of extra space.
The right calls at the right time.
Oh, well.
Now you get 3 tries to try to punch it in.
Yeah. Yeah, we won't be throwing any more passes on this drive.
Ray 28.
We'll go with the run once again.
Uh,
Scrambled across the goal line.
Yep, he just lowered his shoulders and got the
He's the short yardage
they needed.
man.
You know, they gave him quite a big hit there, trying to make him fumble it or something.
Yeah.
But it didn't matter. In fact, if anything, they probably pushed him across the line, or the goal line there.
Yep.
They'll line up for the extra point. The kick is up, and the extra point is good. The home team are
Well,
taking
I'm not
control
playing
of this
defense, but I'm saying right now what you should do is leak yardage, make them take 12 plays.
Hey, that's not going to happen if I leak yardage, because they'll get yards 10 yards at a time if I back everybody up.
Yeah, except I think they lack the patience to stick with that, right?
from the 5-yard line.
I don't know, what are the chances that our best defensive back on the team would have bit like 5 yards down on a play fake too, right? That was totally scripted.
Get the ball into the end zone, basically through their passing game. The corners playing off a bit. The backs are lined up in an eye.
Especially because they line up 10 yards off the line of scrimmage anyways.
Throwing on first down. Throwing.
But they've both been playing shit coverage all day long, right? Like we've had double coverage on these corners, or with these corners all game long, and they just can't seem to get the job done out there.
Yeah, well, he was throwing that corner to the sideline there, right?
I know, and I had a curl flat zone to that side too, as well as the man coverage, as well as a deep zone.
To carry it, Wade brings him down.
That's the frustrating part about it.
Number 47 pushes past the 100-yard mark on the ground. It's second down and 7 to go. Under pressure, throws it, and the catch is made. Nice read, finding the receiver who is.
Well, that one was a man coverage situation there, right? So,
So they have 1st and 10 here. Number 47 in the backfield. Gets the pass off. Great pass. John,
Oh my
Another
God.
penalty. Wow,
Why?
we have taken a ton of penalties in this game on defense. Like, crazy.
They called it inadvertent.
I call it rigged officiating is what I call it.
Yeah, we need that guy to put that flag back in his pocket and leave it there.
Get a handful of mass.
Number 47 is the deep back. Dropping back. Throwing.
Backward pass. Oh, and then he runs away from him. Wow.
Well, look at the angle of pursuit on this play, though, right?
Yeah.
That's really what it all comes down to, right? Because he's playing the flat zone, right? But look at this angle of pursuit. You know, obviously this guy's going to the right,
Yeah.
right? So you'd think he would turn to the right, but instead he just runs right at him.
Yeah, they should try and contain the outside, especially because you had a couple of players trailing there that would have, you know, like stopped him from cutting it back in, right? I don't know. Dumb play, right?
Well, dumb players more like.
Yeah.
First down. Pressure. Throws it with the adjustment. He has
No, don't do that yourself. Just let them do it.
Yeah, fuck that.
the 6-yard line.
Watch this one here. He had them all lined up, looking for the knockout. He just missed. That's one of the things that's going on in this league right now. Too many guys going for the big hit instead of wrapping up the ball carrier.
Shifting some personnel up front. Gives the ball off. Mack makes the tackle at the 1.
The offensive line loves to run block, playing physically against the defensive line. They've done a heck of a job of it out there today.
He'll keep it. Great job on the
I don't know.
quarterback to get it
Just
in.
doesn't matter what I do. I should just line up in a punt block every play.
Maybe even more important is the ability of the quarterback to run the ball. And right there, it paid off.
Well, you need to look in your playbook and see if you can come up with something different, because obviously they've got an answer for whatever it is.
Well,
that they're
it's
doing.
not even that they have an answer. I mean, they're throwing the ball in the coverage all the time, but our players are just so dog shit, it doesn't matter, right?
We get ready for the kickoff.
I can line up in the right coverage all day long, and it just doesn't matter.
From the 9 to the 20.
Well, I guess if I can manage to take another 5 or 6 minutes off the clock here,
1st and 10.
and hopefully get some more points, then that should still be enough to put this away.
I swear, I had less trouble against all Madden teams than I've had against these guys.
Yeah, every now and then you have one of these games, though, where it's like a shootout, right? And there's nothing you can do. It just seems like, you know, the offense is just functioning, right? On all cylinders kind of thing.
Or the defense is failing to function.
Well, basically the defense is failing to function, right? But still, you end up in these shootout type situations where you got to outgun the other team, right?
Dropping back to pass on 1st down with the throw.
And I don't think these guys are a rival or nothing.
No, but they are a solid team, right?
Nah, they're dog shit.
1st downs on their last 2 plays.
There's no reason they should have had the success that they've had.
Yeah. And one of the things, though, too, I gotta say is that, and I commented on this at the beginning, is that they run the ball more often than most teams do. And I think that balance really helps them, too, because you don't quite know what to go after with them all the time.
Oh, I
right?
mean, I play pass no matter what.
Yeah.
For me, I don't even give a shit if they want to run. I will play pass every single play. I'm not going to think about what I'm going to go after for them for.
Jerry Rice has always worked out, right?
That's all the more reason what makes that play action pass bitter, though, right? Because you line up in a formation where your corners are 10 yards off the line, and your safeties are 15 yards off the line, and you're playing pass coverage all game long. And then those idiots still bite on the play fake.
Big tackle there for a loss and great pursuit there, John.
You can say that again. He knows how to prepare, and it really pays off when you make stops like that.
Nice job so far on 3rd down for the offense, and we'll see if that continues here. Jenkins sends a man in motion.
We're ready for a drop pass.
Dropping back. Throwing.
Yep.
And he
See?
dropped it.
It's predictable.
And that pass is dropped. The throw
Well,
was
I'm going to
right
go
there.
because there's no point in
It
not.
looked like he
Here.
had it, but he just couldn't get it under control.
Sixth play of this drive. Surveying the field. Gets rid of it. He hits
Throw it to
the
Solomon.
number 55.
Yep.
Stops him at the
Solomon
27.
comes through for you.
Well, that's what I noticed too, is that you got to have these game breaker moments. Like on third down, your receiver will drop the pass,
Pick up that first down.
and then you have to make some kind of a choice, right?
Changing the play now.
Well, I wonder how this is going to work out.
Dropping back the pass on first down.
Slowly.
With the throw.
Hey, he caught it.
Yeah, he caught it.
Down at the 20. Jenkins will be looking at second
That was a
down.
really
That's
short
picks
pass.
up
Yeah, well, he
5
picked up 6 yards. I mean, you know, like it's,
A little over 4
He
to
picked
go.
up something, I guess.
yeah. Well, hey, you know what? A first down play that gets 6 yards is actually something that you and I both generally regard as a success.
Jenkins sends a man in motion. Drops back. Looking downfield. Throwing. And the catch is made. Good-looking play.
Hey, I like to see him get the fullback involved in the passing game. He's a pretty good option out of the backfield. He has quick feet, good hands, so passing to him sometimes is a pretty good idea.
Looks like he's calling an audible.
There, we'll run the ball and take it down to 2 minutes here.
Number 86. Big hit there. He was run over by a truck.
Yeah, two-ton truck pulling a trailer.
2-minute warning coming up.
Because then they'll have to use their timeouts if they want to stop the clock. And they'll use their... It's better if they use their timeouts on defense than if they have them for offense, right?
More or less.
2 minutes to go. Looks like he's changing the play.
Silver, 28.
Gets the pass off. Great pass.
Oh, well,
Loses 1 tackle.
I guess they're going to have their
Jenkins
timeouts for
fires it into
offense.
the end zone for the touchdown.
Well, they're not going to score twice in 2 minutes.
I hope not. I think you better give the cushion and just let them have the yards.
Yeah.
They'll line up for the extra point. The kick is up. The point after is good. The home team.
See
are
that,
lined
though?
up for
10
kickoff.
plays in 5 minutes, right? Sometimes in these types of games, you just have to play keep away.
They'll return this one. From the 5-yard line. Couldn't stop them from getting in. Let's get back to the action on the field. So they have 1st and 10 here. Passing on 1st down. He surveys the field, and he makes the grab. He did a nice job bringing that one in.
Yeah, either that or it just got thrown in there so hard it's stuck.
Gets rid of it. This pass.
Wow, he hit somebody at the line of scrimmage with that one.
Yeah, I'm thinking they're going to keep going to the end. It might be a little too late.
Giving some cushion on the outside.
There's no lineman on the field now.
Calling an audible. Out of the
That's right.
Dropping back, stepping up, throwing. Off target, but he goes down.
That's okay. Those short little passes, that's what you want them to do, right? You want them to march down the field slowly.
Throws it, and it's complete. Jones makes the play at the 49, directing traffic. with the pass. He hits his receiver. Perry is the guy who's there to bring him down at the 43-yard line, backing off. He'll pass on first down. Pressure coming, and he hits his target. Number 30 records.
Yeah, trying for a screen there, right?
Or some such.
Yeah, well, if you're playing all-man coverage, they aren't going to have much success throwing a screen against you.
Rolling right, goes over the middle.
Man, look at that double pancake there.
Yep.
Jones makes the tackle at the
Danny
30-yard
Jones has got 8
line.
tackles.
Dropping back, closing in, throws it, and he makes the grab.
Well, you got the reverse pancake that time, but you know what? I don't know why they're not using their timeouts here. They must be saving them for after the onside kick attempt or something.
Well, there's a drop pass.
Yeah. They needed that, though, because they needed the clock to stop, right?
The offense went into the hurry-up, so that's the reason for the defensive timeout. They have to get the ball inside the 20 to convert.
Yeah, at least that way you don't give them a free one from a penalty, right?
With the throw.
Actually, I called the timeout here just to get our guys a little bit more rejuvenated there.
Oh.
Because they were
getting
extremely tired.
Yeah.
11th play of this drive. Looks like he's changing the play.
See, and now you don't have to play the cushion because they're not going to throw it over your head here.
I mean, I'm still going to play it anyways.
With the stop at the 13-yard line.
Well, now they had to use a timeout.
12th play of this drive, and they find themselves in scoring range. Passing on first down, under pressure, throwing, swings it out to his running back.
Wow, look at that, a tackle that actually didn't result in a penalty.
13th play of this drive, and they find themselves in scoring range. Directing traffic. They'll go from the I formation. Clark sends a man in motion. Pressure, gets rid of it. On the money. Number 30 makes the tackle.
Well, that's their last timeout.
14th play of this drive. They're in field goal range.
See, 14 plays.
Looks like he's changing the play.
Not a lot of options here. They have to take a shot and go for it.
To the end zone.
Ooh.
No choice here, John.
See, they left the extra blockers in, but you had all those coverage guys in there, and they didn't have anybody to throw it to.
Yeah,
right?
that's because I line up in a dollar defense.
Yeah.
Of this drive.
Well, you might as well assume they're going to throw a pass. I mean,
They line up in the I formation. Clark with a man in motion.
Stop that.
yeah, we don't need any of that shit.
Looks to the end zone.
Well, he dropped it and turned it over on downs. Well, I guess we can come out in the victory formation here, hey?
Still taking it.
Well, the offense came to play today.
Yep.
I think that new audible system that I was using worked pretty well against these guys.
Good.
Because I think my my completion percentage on that particular pattern was like 80% or better.
Houston, 28. For a while, this looked like
No matter who I threw it to, right? Because I threw that pass to tight ends and wide receivers and even a couple of times to a running back, right?
Yeah, you even threw one to Parkman.
Yeah, I even threw one to Parkman and he caught it. It's because of the pattern, right? Because if you run far enough straight ahead down the field, the receiver will turn his back to the line of scrimmage. And then when you abruptly stop and come back, he doesn't have enough time to react and come back to it, right?
Yeah.
Well, here we go. So they managed 129 yards rushing to go with their 299 yards passing. But look at this. See, they only allowed me 71 yards rushing, but I threw for 453 yards. Like, that's nonsense defense, right? You know, like when you play the run that hard that you're going to give up 450 yards passing in a game, you're going to lose, right? I don't care how good your offense is. You can't give up 400 yards plus passing in a game and expect to win. You know, I would rather have given up, you know, like if I were coaching them, I would have rather given up statistics similar to what you gave up here, right? Because, yeah, you would still leak yardage and give up some points, but you wouldn't give up 42 points.
Well, I got cheesed a couple times, too. Once on that play-action pass and another in my end zone when... Because on that touchdown curl that they threw, you had the guy diving, but then another receiver crossing the route jumped in front of the guy while he was trying to dive to swat the ball down, and so he got picked.
Yeah.
It was total bullshit.
Well, look at this, though. This is an interesting stat. They made it into the red zone 5 times, but you only allowed them to score 3 times. So you turned them away twice in the red zone, right? Whereas I was 5 for 5 in the red zone today.
Well, there you go.
But look at that. See, they managed a bit of time of possession, over 20 minutes, which is uncommon. So there we go. Bo Jenkins with a quarterback rating of 140.8. Throws
nearly perfect.
464 yards and 4 touchdowns. Completed 81% of his passes.
Wow, with a completion rating like that, how did they not rate him perfect?
Yeah, I don't know. And then there's Parkman leading the way on the ground. Yeah, I didn't have much success. Like my main runners couldn't even manage 3 yards per carry, right? And look at Golston catching 12 passes for 140 yards. And then Marshall, Clark, Rhodes, right?
Yep.
But yeah, I threw quite a bit to the running backs in this game, right? Especially Golston. That's why that fullback 2 position, it's so important that guy's able to catch passes, right? But he did drop 3 passes too. So anyway, defensively, of course, we had Gooden on the kickoff coverage. But look at Danny Jones with his 8 tackles and an interception.
Yep. And then we got Cedric Perry. I think I only got 1 sack all game, actually.
Yep. Yeah, he is your sack leader. Thing is, though, he kept throwing the ball away, and I'm amazed that you only got 1 interception in this game because you had so many chances. Like, when he hits a defender in the hands, and I'll bet you that happened like 10 times in this game, right?
8 pass deflections.
Okay, 8 times then.
Twice to Ben French, lineman.
Mm-hmm. But the rest of those, he's hitting players in the hands, and those were not necessarily like one-hand leaping knockdowns or anything. They were like the player standing squared up to the line of scrimmage with his hands out in front of him, and the ball hits him in the hands and he drops it.
Yeah, well, you know, I guess not everybody can catch as shittily as Danny Jones.
Yeah. Well, anyway, it looks like Clark had a reasonably good day in a losing effort, right? So he completed 65% of his passes, which is kind of uncommon against you.
Well, it's like I said, though, right? Like, you could triple cover guys out there, and it just didn't matter. I was playing the curl flats, and he'd still throw those corner routes.
See that, though? They did give the ball to this guy 20 times, right? And I kind of figured they would. So, you know, like they did have a little bit of, even though they didn't really light you up on the ground, they did have a little bit of balance in their offensive approach.
I mean, it wasn't going to change the way I called plays either way, right? Because the AI, generally speaking, is so ridiculously pass happy in this game that once they get going, they never stop.
Yeah. Well, you got burned for a big play in this game, but you still managed to keep things under control enough that we were able to hang in there for the win. Oh, look at that. They got this guy. Looks like they hired a couple of guys from the free agent pool.
Yep.
What's this? The strong safety got the 1 sack for them. I guess they must have sent him on a blitz or something.
He's the guy who sacked you, apparently.
Yeah. But anyway, that was probably just about my best offensive outing of this season so far.
And my worst defensive one.
Yeah, you had a bit of an off day today, but you know what? That happens. Happens to the best of us. Anyway, we are now 3-0.
Yeah, who's the player of the game here?
Well, let's see. It is Bo Jenkins, throwing for 464 yards and 4 touchdowns.
I suppose it's really no surprise when you throw for that kind of yardage.
Yeah, I'll bet he's off the offensive player of the week too, probably.
Probably.
Anyway, we'll find that out next time.
I'm Rugby5.
And I'm Sandman99.
Have a good one.
Yeah.